It's 3:30 a.m. and I'm awake because my son decided to be awake and holler and shake his crib. So we worked hard to get him to stop waking up all through the night in April. And now he started to wake up more often, and it's getting out of hand. I'm getting even poorer sleep. So I wanted to have him cried out and check on him at 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But my husband's in there now because my husband can't handle it. But I know that if we don't curb this, it's just gonna get worse. I was up to waking up 4 times at night. So he's like, I gotta sleep. And I realized yesterday the reason I look so much older at 30 than I have at any other point. I've always looked young, but I all of a sudden look my age is because of lack of sleep since my son was born. I don't usually feel tired, but I need that sleep. And just like right now, I'm not sleeping. I'm going downstairs to get my husband some earplugs. We've got them down here in the guest room. Because I bought them in the event our guests need earplugs. It took me a minute to decide to come down here because I'm afraid to walk through the kitchen because of mice. I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired. So I got the earplugs. And I will have to continue to let my son cry because I can't be held captive to this. Good morning. It's a lot later than it was when I first got up. Had to get up and feed my son at like 3, and then I couldn't sleep. And then of course I came out here to start working on my podcast trailer, and I saw a mouse. So I'm feeling really great. As soon as I can, I will be leaving town to go stay with my mom, so that this situation can be resolved, because my anxiety is only getting worse. Yesterday, I suffered from anxiety. I did not experience anxiety. I suffered from it. It was the level of like having trouble breathing. I'm not one to be melodramatic, but I do not feel safe in this house. I have a video where I go on for like 20 minutes about how much I hate this house when I first moved in. And, I did my little counseling, and she was like, you're just channeling your anxiety about moving into this house. And I felt better, but it's still not okay. I was not okay at that time. Like, I was having a real problem. But this time, I really feel that my discomfort is warranted. It's not just the mouse or mice. It's the mice on top of how, like, other shitty elements of living here. How poorly laid out it is. Like, I can't even get all my clothes in the closet. It's just, I'm done. I'm gonna call the exterminator, and I'm going home. I'm going to my mom's house. Now, I got my microphone yesterday. I got a Samson Q2U. I cannot find a pair of headphones because I don't have a sense of organization here. So I've been recording a trailer in GarageBand, and then I have to unplug it to listen to it. But I'm realizing there's a performance value. I knew there's a performance value just like there is on YouTube. So I have come a long way from actually, I really like my first YouTube video, but after the first few, I've come a long way from there. I've learned how to be more natural and more interesting, I guess, and whatever. But podcasting, you don't have like my hands and face and all that. I have to be able to do that with my voice. So I'm going to have to practice. And I keep being like, Bride on Bass. Welcome to Bride on Bass. Welcome to Bride on Bass. Welcome to, anyway, one of my friends listened to it and he said I didn't sound natural and I was talking too much. I was very grateful for that feedback because my husband's like, it sounds good. I need a critical ear right now. He can be critical about everything else. I need you to be critical about this trailer. And I sent, I'm really trying to get 2 interviews this week. So I've been working on outlines. I just really hope it works. I am off track because of the mouse situation. I am afraid that the mouse is bothering my son, and I'm done. Hi, I'm One Eyebrow Joe for the moment because I am down here and I realize I probably need to go ahead and respond to some of the comments I've gotten while it's fresh because I've been thinking a lot about it. I really appreciate the comments. This is the thing I need. This is why I'm on YouTube, because no one around me understands this experience. And I even tried to connect with somebody on Facebook that I knew was in entrepreneurship, and she just wasn't interested in talking to me. And then none of my friends are really entrepreneurs. But anyway, I'm getting comments that I need to, and it's Wednesday, I'm getting comments that I need to focus. I 100% agree. As I was walking in the gym yesterday, I was like, the podcast has to be on the back burner. The reason the podcast is even on the table is because I was going to record my interviews anyway. So it just seemed like do a little bit extra work in making a podcast. However, making a podcast to my standards is its own thing. Well, making a podcast period is its own thing. And then to my standards is another thing. It's not like making a blog. You can make a blog in 15 minutes and post your first thing, but that's just not going to happen with a podcast. So that's why I was on the table, but now it's not. I still have to do interviews because that was the purpose of, like, I had a purpose for the interviews, but I'll just have to wait till I aggregate them to release a season of the podcast, because it's too hard to get people to interview with me. But actually this week I have like 3 on the books. I just have to find time, which I can't because my husband's working all the time or going to school. The reason it's hard for me to focus, the reason I'm struggling is like this whole journey where I started. I'm gonna give a little background, but I think I should make a separate video really about my entrepreneurship story. But I quit my job in July of last year, 2018. And then I thought I'd be making money in a few months, but I quickly realized that entrepreneurship has its own challenges, like entrepreneurship itself. And then blogging has its own challenges. And then being postpartum has its own challenges. So I was not going to succeed. And at that time, I didn't have a clear focus either, vision. Then I got the blog coach, that helped, but I still didn't have like a clear mission. So I started YouTube in November because I'd always wanted to make YouTube videos, and I didn't really know what else to do. It wasn't like an income thing. It was just, I wanted to be creative. I wanted to learn this, and I have. It's definitely fulfilled its purpose, and it's helped me be creative in other areas. So once I started to feel mentally and emotionally stable mid-December, I started to get an idea of what I could do, or like my mindset was changing. And then at the end of December, I actually decided I was going to make a documentary about Fort Bragg. But then I changed my mind from that because that's another story. So at the same time, I was like, okay, I don't have anything really on the horizon. I want to learn business. I'm going to start Mary Kay. So in January 1st, I signed up for Mary Kay. So I buy all this inventory because at this point, that's the only thing on my horizon. It's like I have goals for the future. My blog was not one of them. I thought maybe I would start a new beauty blog in March. YouTube was still a background thing. So there wasn't really anything. Then we moved from Fort Bragg February. March was just kind of a mess. April, I start to get my wheels turning again, trying to get back on track with Mary Kay. And then I decide that I had decided I was gonna do something. Maybe it was the beauty blog thing. I was gonna do something else. So then I had my last call with my blog coach, because I had bought 4 and I used 3, and that's $400, not $500. I said $500 in the last video. Anyway, and so I wrote ebook. I was writing an ebook. I started writing an ebook about my whole military experience. And then I was like, I need to start with an easy one. So then I started writing the one that I've just written. And I was gonna do the Kindle Direct Publishing. Like, that seemed more of something that I could do because I'm a writer. So when I talked to her, I was like, okay, well, these are just kind of the things that I'm thinking about. And I was gonna let my blog go, or just like write about myself and not really like try to tie it into the military and not really try to do anything with it. But she was like, if you want to release this ebook, you need to have an affiliate program. And to me, I was like, I kind of need to have a blog to have an affiliate program. Why are people going to sign up to be my affiliate for my book without a blog? So then I started thinking about the blog more. And I was also in a time of my journey where it wasn't just about me. So I was like, okay, I can tell other women's stories. So now we've got YouTube. Well, at that point I had decided I was gonna like stop trying to do anything with YouTube and just do what I feel, which is what I'm doing now. This is the conversation I wanted to have with somebody. I just have no human to actually have a conversation with. So I stopped trying to do YouTube. Mary Kay is still on the table. Then I decided to take up Bride on Base again. Just kind of let any Brianna Entrepreneur stuff go, except I guess Instagram. But with the blog came, I have to learn like SEO and Pinterest and stuff. So then I had a meeting. My husband and I had coffee with our pastor since we've just come back to the area after 4 years. And he suggested that I make a podcast. So then the podcast got added onto that. So this is how I was organizing my mind. I'm doing the blog as a means to distributing the book, because I know to be successful, you need to have, like, affiliate marketing is one way to be successful in the ebook game. So then so it was like ebook, blog, podcast, Mary Kay. But I understand all that's too much on the list, except, I mean, I started Mary Kay for a reason, and I bought all this inventory so I could sell it. But I can't sell it, and I can't like do what I need to do to be a better Mary Kay consultant, and do what I need to do in these other areas. So the first vlog I did, at that point I was like realizing that I have to not do Mary Kay, which is interesting because I'm just like becoming okay with like leaving that for a later time. And one of my friends wants to be a consultant, and she's like wanting to know if I can do everything with her. And I feel bad saying no because I don't want to take away the opportunity from her. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. It's a weird situation, like not wanting someone to sign up under you. I'm constantly trying to go back and forth. Like my priorities shuffle. Taking podcasting out of it helps. So now it's just the blog and the ebook. And I think I'll do better with that. But when you consider, I need to show you my goal board upstairs, but when you consider everything I had on my plate, like over this past 8 months, and now that I'm down to basically 3 things, to me it feels like I've pared down, but I'm understanding that I need to pare down even more. So I'm just gonna focus on getting this ebook done this week, like done, formatted, ready to go on Kindle Direct, and then I will ask for affiliates and try to give the affiliates a couple weeks to promote it and launch it in July. So I understand I have high standards, and I've been told I'm a perfectionist. So I think that's impacting me too. I think other people could do these things because they wouldn't require it to be at any particular level of quality. But that doesn't seem to be how I can operate. And I think it also has to do with like how I envision myself in the future. But I guess we have to take time to get to our future selves. But I wouldn't say that I was following any particular guru because I don't think anyone's in my situation. I also feel that the reason I'm still on YouTube, the reason I like the podcasting process is because honestly, I like to perform and I don't have a means of doing that. I don't necessarily I like the process of editing something and making it sound the way I want it to sound. YouTube is much quicker than writing a blog post. It used to take me weeks to write a really good blog post, whereas I'm just spending time explaining how I feel right now instead of writing it and rewriting it and doing all these other things. So that's where I'm at. And I know I'll probably make different decisions later because that's how entrepreneurship works. But this is what I know right now. I really appreciate the feedback. It kind of it's interesting because I was thinking that and then you guys started to comment that. So it's reinforced what I'm thinking. Maybe I should just focus on the ebook. But now, that's the other thing, but now I've become impassioned by this mission, which is honestly to help grow up military spouses, because there are so many spouses that just have no sort of leadership or guidance. Like there's no one they can look up to. One of the ladies I approached about an interview last week, one of her comments was it was so hard for her at the beginning. She didn't know what to do. And the problem is when you are a military spouse, the older spouses in your life are not military. So military is a different game. And then the spouses you meet as you come into the military, usually at your same level of experience, so they can't help you. And people make stupid decisions because everybody around them is making stupid decisions. So I want to help. I want to help women develop, give people hope. When all you see is people just being at home, lots of people not ever going to school, just having children, that's what you expect for your life. So I want to create this voice that shows that their lives don't have to be like that. When I quit my job, it was hard for people to understand me quitting my job, like people in my regular, not civilian life, because everybody in my civilian life worked, but in the military, most women don't work. Even if you don't have a job, even if you don't have kids, a lot of them still don't work. So when those are your standards, it's what do you really feel is available to you? And I want, now that I'm like really thinking about this as I explain it to potential guests, I really, that's something I've always cared about. My blog, the tagline currently is "Make yourself a home," to help women like create a home and know we don't have older women training us when we move across the country. Older women helping us to take care of our families, take care of our houses. So I want to be that. And that's what I've come to become more clear on. And I feel that that's probably the vision that I'm supposed to have. That's probably what I'm supposed to be focused on. I think that's what I need. That feeling, that passion, that mission is what I need to really actually create something. Am I right? Is that what you wanted to hear? Travis and commenter Knight. I didn't even put this eyebrow on because I'm too passionate about what I'm saying. Okay. Oh, and I didn't leave because I realized if I leave, nobody's going to be here to handle the pest control. I guess I'll talk about that later. I wanted to show my goal board that I talked about several months ago. So I was saying that I've really pared down on the amount of things I'm doing. So this was my goal board when I first made it. Mary Kay in the Facebook group, my YouTube schedule, and then the blog I wanted, as well as Instagram, blog, ebook, and I had freelance. Now I've like taken Mary Kay off the table, really. YouTube's off the table. I mean, you're watching a YouTube video, but it's definitely not planned. It's just whatever I feel like doing. And then I upload it when I have time, when I feel like it. So that's not a thing. Now I've got Bride on Base, ebook, and then I finished on my freelance stuff, so it's podcasting. So those are like my three things. And then if you look at what I started with and what I'm down to, that's why it feels like I've narrowed it down. But I can see why this is still a lot, because all of these have several tasks involved. Podcasting is its own job. So I get it, but I also want you guys to get me. That to that. I just declined to FaceTime. I have a friend, she always wants to FaceTime, but I can never hear her. And I'm like a little bit hard of hearing as it is. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and explain the mouse situation so that it can be in the same set of vlogs. On June 7th, I put in a work order for the mice. On June 19th, I called the property management company and they said they were waiting on the owner to respond. I had also texted him when I put in the work order. Our dryer stopped working on Monday and my husband texted him and he had the dryer ordered by the end of the day. And so we also texted him about the mice and he didn't respond. So frustrated about that, I decided I would go ahead and call the exterminator and I'll just take it out of the rent and we can fight about it then. The realtor got herself involved. She said she's going up there today, so we'll see what happens. I also looked at the lease today and found that he is supposed to cover mice. The reason that the mice situation bothers me a lot is not because it's like so crazy and there's just mice everywhere jumping out of drawers. It's not like that. I already don't like living here. I made a long video about it when I moved in. And I've gotten over that like initial discomfort and anxiety, but I still don't really like this place. And there are, the reasons I don't like it are still like on a regular basis, I experience them. Like the fact that the refrigerator doesn't stay closed. The door is hard to open. The pantry door won't stay shut. The dishwasher's missing wheels. The shower sucks. And it's got one of those doors on it, so it's hard for me to bathe my son. And it's grody. And the shower tiles are painted, and I can't really clean them, so I don't relax in the shower. So there's that. And then there's also, I think, I may be channeling the stress from my husband starting work again in school, and how that's impacting our lives, and also the tension in my entrepreneurship. But that's life. Like, I can't be like, well, since I have those things going on, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still life, and this is still how I feel, and it is what it is. So we'll see.